understanding that both are necessary. That, for example, how do you really work on yourself? I think that the most powerful way to work on yourself is through your relationships, through the things that come up in life that mirror back to you the unacknowledged shadows that we all carry within. We work on ourselves by working on the world, and part of the grand harmony of everything is that we are presented with precisely the situations that are needed for our own development. So I think that I really celebrate kind of the coming together of these two threads at this conference. And even though I don't necessarily agree with everything that's been said, I think that we can all recognize that the desire to take personal responsibility and to live in a way that's consistent with our opinions and what we're trying to create. I mentioned it a little bit before, that I wouldn't say that that a better world comes from rising above the flesh or rising above materiality. That in fact, I believe part of the problem is our devaluation of the flesh and our devaluation of materiality, which has seemed quite necessary because our dominant narrative that told us what the flesh and what materiality was already devalued it. But there's another thread of teaching that runs through spiritual tradition. I will talk about economics in a minute here, okay? I'm just kind of warming up to it. But there's another thread enunciated by people like William Blake. He said essentially, this is what a soul looks like right now. That we are not containers for a separate soul, but we are soul-made flesh. And I mentioned this maybe in part as a way to bring the possibility of bringing the sacred back into the most profane thing of all in this world, which would be money. Money seems quite the enemy of everything that's sacred to us. Any of you who are engaged in an environmental issue or a social justice issue, you find very quickly that money is not your friend. You're not going to make a lot of money by